To whoever this may impact, sometimes our lives have to be completely shaken up, changed, and rearranged to relocate us where we're really meant to be. Sometimes change feels like loss, transformation is scary, and sometimes to discover the best versions of ourselves, we must let go of absolutely everything that's holding us down. Welcome to I Missed Me, your new safe space. I'm excited to form a part of your healing journey. We've all been there, whether it's the slow fade of a friendship, a breakup that hits like a train, or even just realizing that you've outgrown someone. Understanding why they happen can bring a sense of clarity and even growth. A lot of relationships begin with excitement. You see potential, you feel connection, and you dive in. But as time goes on, you might realize that what you want or need isn't what the other person can offer. Take romantic relationships. One partner might see marriage in the future, while the other is happy keeping things casual. Or in friendships, one person might expect constant check-ins and deep conversations, while the other prefers a low-maintenance bond. When those expectations aren't met, or worse, when they're never discussed, it creates tension. Misaligned expectations can turn into resentment, even if both people have good intentions. Having honest conversations about what you need and what you're able to give is crucial. And if you find you're fundamentally mismatched, it is okay to walk away. Communication, the classic relationship buzzword. It's not just about talking, it's about understanding. Sometimes, relationships end because people stop communicating effectively. Small misunderstandings pile up, and before you know it, there's a wall between you. This can happen in any relationship, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or even a coworker. One person feels unheard or undervalued, but doesn't speak up because they've been worried about causing conflict. Meanwhile, the other person might be oblivious or even feeling the same way. When these emotions go unaddressed, they fester. Being open about how you feel, even when it's uncomfortable, can save a relationship. But sometimes, despite our best efforts, the damage is too deep, or the communication styles just aren't compatible. Sometimes, relationships end, not because something went wrong, but because people grow in different directions. Think about the friends that you had in high school or college. You might have been inseparable with them, but as you age, your priorities, interests, and values evolve, and that's normal. In romantic relationships, personal growth can be even more complicated. One partner might embark on a journey of self-rediscovery, changing careers, moving cities, or even reassessing themselves. But if the other person isn't growing at the same pace or in the same direction, the relationship can feel like it's holding one or both of them down. It's hard to let go of someone that you still care about. But growth sometimes requires making space for new connections and opportunities. Why do relationships end? Sometimes it's misalignment of expectations, and other times it's poor communication, and often it's just life. Growth, change, and the natural change of life and flow of human connection. Endings aren't failures, they're transactions. They create space for you to better understand yourself and what you need. Relationships don't exist in a bubble. They're influenced by the world around us, our past experiences, and even our inner worlds. Sometimes, it's not just the people in the relationship who are the problem. It's the circumstances they're navigating. External stressors, like financial struggles, demanding careers, or even the challenges of raising a family can take a toll. Two people who genuinely love each other, but are constantly exhausted and overwhelmed. Their limited emotional weight might mean less time to connect, more arguments, or even feelings of neglect. External stress doesn't just impact romantic relationships. In friendships, for instance, if one person is going through a rough time, like grieving, dealing with burnout, or facing mental health challenges, it can create a temporary imbalance. The friend on the receiving might feel helpless or even frustrated. They don't know how to support their loved one. This doesn't mean that their relationships are doomed, but they do require resilience and patience. Recognizing when external pressures are driving the conflict and addressing them together can sometimes save the bond. Another factor is the role that evolving social dynamics plays in the lifespan of a relationship. Think about how the digital age has changed the way we connect. Social media, texting, and even dating apps have made it easier than ever to meet new people, but they've also created new challenges. Comparison can creep in when you see friends seemingly perfect with relationships online. Or you might notice how easy it is for miscommunication to arise over text, or when someone's read receipt stays blue, but there's no reply. There's also the fact that relationships now face a globalized world. Long-distance connections are more common than ever, While technology helps bridge the gap, physical distance can add strain, especially when there's no clear path to eventually being in the same place. As our social landscape shifts, relationships must adapt. Some make it, but others falter under the weight of these changes. Past experiences shaped who we are, and if those experiences involve pain, whether it's childhood neglect, betrayal, or past relationship failures, they can leave lasting scars. Trauma often teaches us to protect ourselves, sometimes at the expense of building healthy connections. Someone with unresolved abandonment issues might cling too tightly to a partner, while another person might push people away before they can even get too close. These patterns can create tension, misunderstanding, and ultimately lead a relationship to end if they're not addressed. Healing is possible. Therapy, self-awareness, and support can help break these cycles, but it takes time, and not all relationships will survive the process. Sometimes, two people are perfect for each other, just not at the same time. Maybe one person is focused on building their career, while the other is ready to settle down. Or one friend might be in the phase of self-discovery, needing space, while the other is craving closeness. Timing is one of those frustrating factors because it feels out of our control, but it teaches us an important lesson. Not all relationships are meant to last forever, and that's okay. Some are there to teach us something in the moment, to help us grow, or to bring joy when we need it the most. Relationships don't end because you don't deserve love. Relationships end because you deserve to be loved at the maximum capacity, and sometimes meeting and experiencing that love requires to let go as a first step. Relationships end because you deserve more, because you deserve different, and because not everyone is meant to go to where you are directed to. Relationships end because sometimes taking different paths requires separation, because not everyone is capable enough to hold your growth, and because even though they are exactly who you needed when you met them, they don't align with the person that you are becoming anymore. Relationships end as a form of protection. Relationships end as an act of love from the universe, and relationships end as a message to let you know that you are just one step closer to meeting the one. Take a moment to think about the relationships in your life. Are there any that feel fragile or strained right now? Reflect and ask yourself what role you might be playing in the dynamic. Are you communicating openly? Are your expectations clear? Reach out, and if it feels right, initiate a conversation. Approach it with curiosity and compassion rather than blame. Assess, is this relationship adding value to your life, or is it depleting you? It's okay to acknowledge when something is no longer serving you. And remember, endings aren't just losses. They're opportunities for transformation. They make room for deeper connections with yourself and others. Relationships, like life, are dynamic. They're not static entitles to be preserved exactly as they are. They're living, breathing parts of our existence, constantly changing and evolving. If a relationship ends, it doesn't erase the good times you shared. It doesn't diminish the love, joy, or growth that came from it. And instead, it becomes a chapter in your story and a stepping stone to the next phase of your journey. With love, Mafe. Besties, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to share with anyone that might need to listen. Don't forget that we have a membership where as soon as you sign up, you will receive an I Missed Me hoodie. Plus, you have access to an exclusive episode every single month, printable activities, meditations, monthly challenges, PDF guides, and behind the scenes content. Don't forget to follow I Missed Me on social media, I Missed Me Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe to I Missed Me's YouTube channel, I Missed Me Podcast. I will see you guys on our next episode.